Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Lego Dungeons and Dragons and the Lego release day, the second Lego Dungeons and Dragons release day, which was September 1st, 2024. And we're going to talk about, is Dungeons and Dragons going to continue as a theme in Lego in the future, right? Because we don't really know. All right, and so this is interesting. So the reason we're talking about this is I had a great day at Lego release day for September 1st. So I go to Lego release day, and I'm talking with this lady who is a major Harry Potter fan, and she is there because she is buying the Burrows, Lego Harry Potter Burrows set, which released on the same day as Lego Dungeons and Dragons collectible minifigure series 27. Right, so very important, right? So they're getting a major set, we're getting a major set, but this is only the second Lego Dungeons and Dragons. And we were having a Lego discussion, and I was like, well, one of the things I'm concerned about as a dungeon master is, so we're in Lego Dungeons and Dragons is a theme, and we have two sets, not just one set, right? And that's important. I don't know if you know this, but Lego Dune, right? They have one set, the Royal Atreides Ornithopter. That is it, right? That's the only set they have, right? And it's arguable they will never get another set, right? It could be a once and done. That's it. That's all they get, right? Now, Lego Dungeons and Dragons theme is a real theme, right? And we're going forward. But we don't know how many sets we're going to get. We don't know what they're going to build out, right? And so I was saying, to this, we were having, I'm not going to use their real names, but Lawrence and Laura. Okay, so Laura is the Harry Potter fan. Lawrence is a major Lego fan, from the Lego architecture fan. So he is literally an architect, and he builds buildings, right? And so he loves to build Lego buildings. But he's also a very extremely serious Lego fan, right? And is there almost every release day. He's a major collector, right? And he has more than just than the architecture, but that's his main jam, right? And so she's like, well, and I was like, so, what I need to figure out is, so we're in like Flynn. Lego Dungeons and Dragons is a real theme. We have multiple sets now, but how do we get bandwidth? How do we push back your Harry Potter, themes, and you get less, and maybe you don't get, I think maybe you don't get 10 releases a year. Maybe you guys get 5, and Dungeons and Dragons gets 5, and, can we take from Dreams, and can we take from, Speed, Lego Speed, right? Which is all cars, right? And I was like, how do we get the most from Lego? How does Dungeons and Dragons get more? And this lady said flat out, she was like, you ain't getting nothing more. And I was like, what? And she's like, you only got this because this was the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons, right? And Lego knew that there was going to be a big burst. There's going to be a surge of interest in Dungeons and Dragons in its 50th year. And that put them over the top to get a Lego theme, right? And I was like, that's an interesting perspective. I'm not positive that you're right, but that is very fascinating, right? And she's like, yeah, you guys are done, man. You're not getting any more sets. And I was like, kind of teeth grindy. But I want to think about what she's saying. So one, is that true? Well, first of all, one thing that could make that untrue immediately is if we blow the doors off of purchase, right? Now, the Lego Dungeons and Dragons Red Dragon's Tail set was a very weird set, right? In that it costs $360. There's almost nobody who's going to be interested in that, right? It's very rare. You would have to be a very intense, you'd have to have high interest in both Lego, and you would have to have high interest in, you'd have to have both high interest in Lego as well as Dungeons and Dragons, right? And that's an extremely high price point. Whereas these minifigures, this is big, right? They can move a ton of these because these are only $5 a piece, and people can get one or two and add them to their existing Lego collectible minifigure sets, and they may only want one or two. One thing that's really fascinating to me, that I was really fascinated to learn, is that Lego Dungeons and Dragons fans are interested in Lego Dungeons and Dragons, and they're interested in that Lego fans are interested in Lego Dungeons and Dragons collectible minifigures, even if they have absolutely no interest in Dungeons and Dragons. They're still going to want the minifigs, because the minifigs are very epic, and Lego Fantasy is already an established theme. And so for any Lego person, they're like, oh, this is just more Lego Fantasy. They don't really care that Dungeons and Dragons is on it. They're still going to want to buy them, right? But if this Lego minifigure series blows off the shelves, that is going to, there is absolutely going to be another Lego Dungeons and Dragons meeting. And if that Lego Dungeons and Dragons meeting, if those people come together and they say, hey, they're going to look at how the sets performs, right? And I'll bet you right now, I don't think Lego, by the way, you can buy Lego Dungeons and Dragons Red Dragon's Tail right now for $360. It was there today. 5 months later, it's not sold out, right? Now that means they're printing it well, right? But also, any kind of set that's got, and Lego has sets that go from $100 to $500 for big sets, right? And that's like major, right? So that is huge. That is a lot of, that's a lot of traffic, right? But these minifigures, these could blow off the shelves, and people who have absolutely no interest in Dungeons and Dragons could buy tons of these, right? And I really think that is what's going to happen. I think she may be right. I think Lego's interest in Dungeons and Dragons may have been sparked because of the 5-decade celebration, right? And that we don't know what Lego's interest in Dungeons and Dragons is going to be. The other thing is, Lego might consider Dungeons and Dragons as a major threat to its medieval theme and its fantasy theme and its castle theme. And trust and believe, it is, right? Because one, all that, basically, and so if you start branding all the castles as Dungeons and Dragons, well, one, people who would be interested in it from a historical perspective might not be interested, but what is that brand? And we don't really know yet, right? So I am really hoping that Lego Dungeons and Dragons is a theme that's going to get lots and lots of sets and is going to grow like wildfire, right? But we don't know, right? The other thing that's interesting is, I'm set either way. I would really love there to be more Lego Dungeons and Dragons, but I've bought all the sets that exist. So, the downside to me, that there's no downside to this for me, right? Excuse me. Because if this goes, if these go through the roof, if they're like, that's it, that's the last, you can't get any more, right? That means that these Lego sets are going to go through the roof, right? Everything I own is just going to get super, super valuable, right? And so that's good. I would much rather have many more sets, and for Lego Dungeons and Dragons to be a robust alive theme. So, this is, it's very interesting to see what's happening, and it is really interesting. So, I'm definitely hoping, I really hope that lady is very, very wrong, but I'm very curious. In my humble opinion, she's wrong. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on the matter. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. Do you think Lego Dungeons and Dragons will be a theme 10 years from now, and that we'll get 2 to 3 sets a year, right? Or do you think she's right? The 2 we just got, that's it, all right? And that's all we're going to get. I'd love to hear your humble opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.